The disappearance of Breasia Terrell sent the community of Davenport, Iowa into a tailspin. Her remains were found 9 months later next to a pond just 30 minutes away from where she was reported missing. Now Henry Dinkins stands trial for her murder. Day 6 of the Sleepover Kidnapping trial set to begin at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Dinkins is charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping after the 10-year-old vanished while spending the night with her younger brother at the defendant's home. Many have questioned the defendant's response after he reported Breasia missing as to a point to his guilt. Well, on Wednesday, the state presented body camera footage from a responding officer after that initial report, and you get to see, the jurors did, Dinkins and his reaction firsthand. Take a look.
Who have you called? What doors have you knocked on?
I don't know these people out here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I called her.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And she told me she was at work. At first, I was riding around looking. Yeah. Then my son started riding around looking.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then,
so how long ago has it been, an hour?
It's been a couple hours.
Couple hours?
Couple hours.
Okay.
Couple hours.
Have we called grandmas? Have we called cousins?
That's what I just asked. She the one, I don't know all that. She knows all that. He need a picture of her.
You don't have nothing with you right now? Okay, that's fine. Have we called family?
I've called everybody. I have my uncle out riding around. My mom's on her way out here. My friends on their way out here.
We've been everywhere.
And she's gonna be with a friend inside some apartment.
That's
most
why
likely.
I said I'm gonna still look.
Okay.
We don't know anybody out here. So that's the thing.
Okay.
She would have never. She would have never. First of all, she would have never woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and she would have never.
What you mean 8 o'clock in the morning?
I'm just saying.
That ain't what I said. I never said.
Guys, this isn't the time to fight.
Exactly. I don't give a about you walking. You lost her though. Because you was watching her, Henry. What the do you mean?
But hey,
I'm gone, sir. Come on.
Listen to me. Well, you guys gotta come together right now. This isn't a time to fight about it. Okay. So, well, hey, if you, how am I supposed to? What do you want me to do?
I got neighbors, bro. I got neighbors. You see how she stepped on me? You know
I mean, I got picture. I got nothing. What do you want me to do?
What am I supposed to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it. Henry, I get it.
All I can do is look.
I get it, Henry. How many times have you guys stayed out here?
How many times have I been out here? Yeah, this is their first time.
Oh, it's the very first time she's ever stayed here. And so she has
been over here, but they never stayed.
She has never stayed here.
Like I said,
so I wonder just.
Daughter saying she was assaulted by the mom, and the mom's not allowing her to get her things.
I mean,
this is such a small. She's not in our look. She's gonna open the door, man. She's gonna open.
What's her name?
She's gonna open.
All right, that's the immediate aftermath, and you can feel the emotion from Mom and Henry as well. Wonder what the jury's thinking about all this. Let's bring back in Michelle Thomas and David Katz. Well, there is no jury actually in this trial. It's a bench trial. So, and Michelle, let's start with that. The decision the defense made to go with a bench trial instead of a jury trial. Your thoughts, because you never know with a jury, right? Judges, you kind of know where it's going to go.
Yeah. I mean, it was obviously a strategic call by the defense lawyers because I think they wanted to avoid pulling on the heartstrings of the jury. I mean, this is such a, if there was going to be a jury, it's a case where you just feel immediately just sympathetic and overwhelmed with sorrow listening to how this unfolded and then the demise of this little girl. So I think they wanted to try to remove the emotionalism out of it and just focus on the legalities and the law, which they believe that a bench trial would result in that as opposed to a jury. But here, you really don't know because it's just one person's decision, which is the judge, versus having to convince 12 people unanimously that he should be acquitted or that he should be found guilty. So it's really, I don't know how this one's going to fall actually, but there does seem to be quite a bit of evidence pointing in the defendant's direction.
The officer that responded from the Davenport Police Department was obviously seemingly just as upset or more than the parents in that clip. They were fighting, but he was, he at one point he said, "What am I supposed to do?" He described it on the stand. Let's take a listen, then we'll get your reaction, David.
While you were up there checking the apartment, did Mr. Dinkins come into the apartment?
No.
And so when you had gone in to check, had you lost sight of where he was at?
Yes.
Describe then what you discovered.
As I was only in there for 5 minutes, as I came back outside, I need more information from Henry. I believe he's the complainant who called me wanting to file this missing person report, and I don't have a lot of information yet. So I come outside and I'm like, "Where's Henry at?" And I go to the front of the building, the side, and I don't see him anywhere.
Okay. What do you do at that point?
I ended up calling him with the number that he provided to me.
Okay. And then when you called Mr. Dinkins with the number that he provided to you, did he answer that phone?
No.
Okay. Was that the only call then that you made to him throughout the course of that morning?
No, I made 6 phone calls in that first hour.
And in those 6 calls that you made in that first hour, did he ever pick up any of those calls?
He did not, and I was unable to leave a message because his voice box was full.
David, your reaction to first that body camera video and then what you heard from the officer.
And there you could see why they opted for a bench trial, because that kind of inexplicable reaction to a missing young girl, it's kind of something that a jury, I think, would resonate with. Not consider, the jury will think this is not how I would behave if a girl was missing under my care. This is odd. So, and coupled with a lot of the other evidence that is being offered in this case is certainly going to be impactful on the jury. So I think the strategic decision to remove it from a jury and put it in the hands of a judge probably in this case was a smart one. But the officer's reaction is understandable. He shows up, he's trying to respond to a missing person, missing child, and he's getting no cooperation. Actually, no cooperation from either side. But then the alleged complainant, disappears. So that does not look like a normal reaction to a person who was trying to find the location of a missing child.
Michelle, Henry Dinkins is a sex offender. Before this, the jury might not have known that. They probably, that wouldn't have come out at trial. The judge knows that, though. So that's part of the equation for the judge as he evaluates this. At this point, should he get up and tell his side of the story and come up with something? Because watching this trial, boy, it looks like he's going down.
It is absolutely a sinking ship, Ted. And, in most instances, you would say, no, you do not want the defendant to testify. And certainly under these circumstances, how is he going to explain his behavior, his uncooperative behavior in the video with the officer? How is he going to explain his disappearance and the fact that he was the last one to see or be seen with this little girl? So generally, you don't want them to testify, but here he almost has nothing to lose at this point. I mean, maybe he could gain some ground and try to explain what he was doing in the middle of the night with the girl and what happened. So he may try it because at this point, there's nothing else that looks like it's going to save him from a conviction.
Yeah, and I can't think of a story that is going to resonate with anybody. Him and a 10-year-old, and she ends up dead, and he lies about it, apparently, allegedly.